I love you, Allah.
Something that I want to share with the Muslims and the non-Muslims as well. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says an amazing verse in the Quran, and this for me is the most motivational, the most inspiring verse of them all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says what? Allah says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in His holy book, He's speaking to you and I, my brothers and sisters. Allah says, I will never burden a soul with anything more than that which it can carry. Whatever you're going through, no matter how hard, know that Allah knows you can get through it. Allah knows you can pass. And you have to believe this. Otherwise, what you're implying indirectly, that Allah is unjust and Allah is burdening me with something I can't handle. And Allah says, I will never do this to my slave, never. So let's create the worst scenario you could ever think of. You came home, you just lost your job. Forgive me, let's just create a really severe scenario. You came home, you've just lost your job. On the way you had a car accident, you smashed your car. By the time you made it home, everyone in your family was murdered. Throw the worst scenario you could ever possibly put together. If you are really in that situation, Allah says, I know you can pass and I know you can get through it. Because I put you there, and I will never put you in a situation that you cannot handle, that you cannot get through. And the Prophet of Allah, he says in a very amazing hadith. Hadith is the words of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The Prophet of Allah, he says what to you and I? And this is important. The Prophet of Allah, he says, amazing is the condition of a believer. Notice how the Prophet of Allah doesn't say the condition of a Muslim. Because to be a Muslim, this is entry level. Anyone can really become a Muslim. But the Prophet of Allah, here he's being very specific, and he says amazing is the condition of a believer. You see, a believer is a higher level. Okay, why is the condition of the believer so amazing, O Prophet of Allah? He says, because whatever happens to him or her is good. What does that mean? Whatever happens to you and I is good. When something good happens, the Prophet of Allah, he says, you praise Allah and you thank Him, and this is good for you. And when something bad comes your way, or a test or a trial or a tribulation, then you are patient and you turn back to Allah, and this is also good for you. For the case of a believer, anything and everything that happens in his or her life, it's all good. There is no bad. Why? Because ultimately, where did that come from? Allah. Oh Allah, you're the one who's in control. Oh Allah, if you give me lots of money, well then this is good, this is khair. Oh Allah, if you don't give me money, well then you know what's best, and I have faith in you. Oh Allah, if I get married, well then this is good and great. And oh Allah, if I don't get married, then you know what's best. My faith is in Allah. Our happiness and our sadness, really, it's only with Allah Azza wa Jal.